What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today is the day the fish have finally arrived, so make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can keep up to date with our future uploads. Today is a video I've been waiting weeks and weeks for. We are finally getting the arrival of our 3 new fish. We are also getting another fish, so that'll be 4 fish in total, which is one of my friend's fish, which I will be quarantining for him as well. Also, hopefully you can all see, I've got the brand new t-shirt on. I really love this t-shirt, it's really nice and it came out really nicely. I love the design. So yeah, that's done. So I also need to order the other t-shirt with the slightly smaller logo in the corner. So that's the t-shirts. Also, as you saw in the previous videos, we got the tank cleaned and filled up. So it's just heating up to about 28 degrees now. We've got the dual filter in the back corner. Let me just move the camera, hopefully you can see that. So we've got the dual filter and then I've just got the heater. I've just got it out of the filter so I can check that it's working properly and it's not on. Typical. So we are going to get the media from the dual filter outside. We're going to move all of that media into this filter so we've got an instant cycled tank. Also, the fish that had dropsy is fully healed now. There's a little bit of a mark where there was a little bit of damage, but he's absolutely fine now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some treatment onto that scale, that little area. Then he's going to go out into the outdoor pond. Then we're going to take the 2 sponge filters from his tank and put them into here. So we've got extra aeration and also extra filtration. So I'm just going to do that now, do that off camera, and then the next time you see me, I will hopefully have a big poly box in front of me. We're going to do a live unboxing. These fish are going to be really stressed, so I'm really hoping that they're all going to be okay and they're all going to be fine, but it's possible that they may not. So if you're a little bit squeamish or you don't want to look, maybe skip the next few minutes, but I'm crossing my fingers that they will all be fine. So hopefully the APC courier will be here any minute now. Probably will be delayed as per usual, but the next time you see me, I will have the box in front of me. We're going to do the unboxing live on camera. I'm going to be taking off the tape with you guys, so I'm not going to see the fish before you guys are, and then we're going to get them in. Hopefully we'll get a few close-ups, but as I said, I know the fish are going to be very stressed, and then we can go over a few quarantining tips and tricks, and also how I'm going to be quarantining these fish for the next however many weeks, most likely 4 weeks, so that they're parasite free, they're ready to go outside with the other fish, and then all our fish will finally be together. So I will see you guys very soon. Here we have it guys, the box has finally arrived. As you can see, it's fully taped up. I've just removed my dress from it. I'm really excited and also very nervous, so I'm gonna start to get it open and just hope all the fish are okay. This was only in transit for around 18 to 19 hours, which is really good. So I'm hoping that the fish will be okay. Lovely big box as well, which is good to see. So it must be lots of water and lots of oxygen in the bag. Sorry, this is going to be quite hard, guys. As I previously said, I've taken the fish that had dropsy and he's back in the main pond. Also, whilst I did that, I took all the filter media that was in the dual filter and it's all in here, so we've got a fully matured filter. And as you can probably hear, I've got 2 sponge filters. Because the water is quite warm, 28 degrees or slightly above, the water holds less oxygen, so we need to make sure we can get as much oxygen into the water as possible. So I'm probably going to float these for around 25 to 30 minutes, open the bags up, get the fish out of there straight away and into their new home. So this will be their quarantine tank for the next 4 weeks. So I'm just going to let them sit, relax a bit, make sure keep the lights off. I probably won't turn the lights on until tomorrow, just because I want them to settle in and be as stress-free as possible. And also I'm going to be checking the temperature, making sure the bags and the tank water are the same temperature with that temperature gun that I showed you before. And then once we've got them in the tank, we get a few close-ups, and then after that I'm going to show you what steps I take to quarantine these fish and how I will go about doing it, and tips and tricks that you can use at home as well. So I'll see you in about half an hour.
A few moments later.
Water was actually 25 to 26 degrees, so it took a little bit longer than expected to acclimate them. So they've actually been acclimating for about 50 minutes now, instead of the usual 20 to 30 minutes that I do. So I'm just going to unbag them now. As I've said in previous videos, as soon as I open this bag, I need to get the fish out of the water into clean water straight away, because the ammonia has built up in the bag. The fish are producing CO2 all the time, which is causing the pH to drop, because CO2 forms carbonic acid, which causes the pH to lower. And when I open these bags, all of the remaining oxygen and air will release straight out of the bag. Fresh air will come straight in, which will cause the pH to rise rapidly, which will cause the ammonia toxicity to become far more toxic within the bag. So if the fish have been in the bags for over a couple of hours, an hour, 2 hours, then I would always remove them straight away. There's no drip acclimating, because the fish will be far more stressed by drip acclimating them than just adding them straight to your new tank water. So I'm just taking the bands off now. Also, this water is going to be quite polluted and have quite a lot of ammonia in it, so I want to remove it from the tank, and I don't want to add any of this water to the tank. We'll try and get a quick look at each fish in the bowl just here. So I'll just get some water in that. Hopefully you can see on camera. Hopefully it's in shot. So we've got the first bag open. So these have been really well packed by Pimmy at TH Goldfish. You can see that they are in square bottom bags, which means the fish won't get caught in any of the creases in a normal bag, which is actually really good. And I know these bags are a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it just for the peace of mind. And as per usual, she's double bagged them, which is really good to prevent any leaks. She's also used the rule that I normally talk about, 1/3 water with 2/3 oxygen, and the fish are very happy and they don't look stressed at all. So the first ones to come out is the cow style and also the calico. So I'm going to get these both out of this bag straight into the bowl. The ammonia doesn't smell too bad. They're quite active, which is good to see. So the first one is the calico. So the black calico. They're quite skinny as they haven't been fed, but I'll fatten them up in 3 or 4 weeks. And the second one, this is beautiful. This is a really rare calico, cow style ranchu. I'm not 100% sure if it's a true cow, because the base, as you can hopefully see, is metallic in colour, and a normal cow has a matte white base. But they are just stunning. Beautiful fish. Quite small, only about 4 inches or so, but in a month's time we'll fatten those right up. And they're looking nice and active and nice and healthy, so I'm going to get those into the main tank, and then we'll get some more shots later. I know the lighting's not going to be very good and it's going to be quite hard to see the fish when I put them in the bowl and in the tank, but I need to make sure they aren't stressed, and the fish's welfare is most important before the filming or anything like that. So I need to make sure they're as least stressed as possible. So that's bag one done. Polystyrene everywhere. So this one, we've got one red and white ranchu for my friend, which is about 5 inches, quite a big female, and then the second one is the other dark calico. So when I'm quarantining these, I don't want to cross-contaminate anything with my other tank, any hoses or gravel vacs, anything. I need to be really careful in case, which is likely, that these fish will have parasites. So I haven't added anything to the water yet, and I'm just going to observe first. That's the first thing to do, is just observe the fish. We don't want to be adding chemicals unnecessarily. It was quite, the water didn't smell too bad in these bags actually as well. Not much ammonia, which I usually would see, which is going to mean the fish are far less stressed. That is a lovely fish. And the second one, if I just hold those up, hopefully you can see a little bit better. Lovely, lovely quality. Really good wen growth on both of these. I really like that red and white one. Might want to keep that for myself. But that's going to go to John, the guy you saw in Tank Tours, I think episode 3 it was, who had the Sakura Oranda. We were supposed to be shooting episode 4 after this video, but unfortunately we had to cancel that, so that's going to come at a further time. Maybe we'll do a different Tank Tours episode in the meanwhile, or maybe I'll do a few more Back to Basics series. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm sure you'll find out in the next 3 days. So I'm going to let those guys into the tank. Now I'm just going to remove this bag water, and then I'll give you a few tips and tricks and what I'm going to do to quarantine these guys. The fish are now in. They're very active, which I'm very surprised by, which shows that they were packed and shipped really well. Once again, sorry it's a little bit dark, a little bit dim in here, but I need to make sure the lights are off for the fish so they can settle in stress-free. So now I'm just going to give you a few tips and tricks on how I would quarantine my fish. So these fish have previously been starved, so there is less ammonia in the bags, less waste and less internal complications, and as I can see, they are really, really active and healthy, which is really good to see. The white one is extremely active. I think he's a little bit stressed, but hopefully he'll settle down in a few hours. So, as with all quarantine, I'm going to keep all equipment and everything separate from my other fish, so there's no transmission of any diseases or viruses or any parasites. So I'm going to quarantine these for about 4 weeks. I'm going to check them with the microscope. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. I did a parasite identification microscope video, and that's definitely worth a watch. So I will probably do about 2 scrapes on these fish to identify if there is any parasites on them after maybe a week or so. If I don't see any other effects, maybe I'll see some flashing or scratching, or maybe the fish will be lethargic and I'll have to intervene before that. But so far, so good. As I said, the water is 28 degrees. From Thailand, they've been in 28 to 30 degree water, so this is what they're used to. My tank outside is about 21 degrees now, so I'm going to slowly bring them down. I'm going to keep them at 28 for the first week, and then after that I'm going to slowly bring them down. So by the end of the 4th week, they will be about 21 to 22 degrees. If they have any parasites or problems, I will medicate them, and I will show you that in the videos to come. I may have to use some salt, possibly at 3 parts per thousand. Also maybe some aquaflavin if there's any bacterial problems. It's also common with fish that are recently imported from Thailand or China that they will have maybe flukes Argulus, which is fish lice, and also anchor worms, because the fish are kept in shallow ponds which have quite high levels of parasites, so you need to be looking out for those in your fish and monitoring them. I'm not going to add any chemicals. Most people would be adding the chemicals straight away, but the best advice I can give you is observe and watch your fish, because your fish will tell you if something's wrong. If they're lethargic, maybe you need to check your water parameters. Maybe you've got some ammonia or nitrite and you need to do water changes. I will be doing water changes on this. I will do one tomorrow, and then I will be doing them every other day for the first couple of weeks, and then I will move to every 3 days, because we need to keep that water quality in pristine condition for these fish so they can recover from their travels and their journeys. Also, I've seen lots of posts on the Facebook group and also people on other groups, mainly other groups, where they have bought a new fish and they've got a problem and they are slating the dealer where they've bought it from. No matter where you buy your fish, no matter what company, you always need to quarantine. It is so important, because although it is the dealer's responsibility to make sure the fish are healthy, they cannot guarantee it parasite free, because even healthy fish carry parasites. Like Trichodina will live in detritus and it may have a few on your fish, but if your fish are healthy and they're not stressed or have any problems, they can usually fight off these parasites. But no matter where I buy from, even my favourite dealers, I will always quarantine the fish, because it's just not worth the risk. It's like you may have a virus, I can't say it for YouTube purposes, but you may have the virus and you may be absolutely healthy. You may go and see family and then they catch the virus, where it's best to quarantine, because you wouldn't know that you had the virus if you were nice and healthy. And it's the same for fish. They might look healthy, they might be acting healthy, but there may be something that will crop up in the future. So you must quarantine. And if you don't quarantine and you put your fish straight into your main tank and you have problems, it is not fair to slate or put down the dealer or the shop where you bought your fish from, because this is just part of fish keeping and it's just part of the hobby. The fish are doing really well. I'm going to keep the lights off until tomorrow, then the lights will come on. I'm going to keep monitoring them. Hopefully I don't have to treat them with anything at all, but if I do, I'm going to make sure I get onto that straight away. You might see in the video that I've lowered the water level a little bit, not too much, but it just helps with the pressure on the fish. I've got the 2 sponge filters providing aeration, which helps increase surface area, adding oxygen. Also, the output to the filter is pointed upwards to increase that surface area further, to allow any CO2 to escape and any oxygen to re-oxygenate the water. I won't be feeding these guys for about 3 days. I need to let them settle in, make sure they're all okay, and then I will slowly start to feed them. I'm actually using the Fast and Grow food, which has also come from the breeder in Thailand that I got these from, and you probably will see him advertise lots on the group. His name is Sitiniti Hawkle, otherwise known as Tony, and he has excellent quality fish. And if you like any fish you see on the Facebook group, then send him a message, find out how much the fish is, and then you can get one of your transshippers to import those fish for you. Although it is quite expensive and it is more of a niche side to the hobby, it still can be done and you can pick that special fish that you want. So right now I'm going to put the lid back on the tank, make sure I can keep that heat in and also not get lots of evaporation that would normally come up. I'm going to keep you guys updated on the fish. Also, I'm going to keep you updated on the outdoor fish because the pond is looking amazing. Unfortunately, the calico at John's still hasn't spawned, and right now it's looking quite unlikely. So unfortunately, our series where we were going to race and fry has really been pushed back, so I can only apologise for that. But hopefully, once we've got all the fish outside in the main pond, hopefully we can do one of our own spawnings and we can get some fry so we can bring you guys that series. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.